Ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders never, ever, ever said, ever, that a woman couldn't win the presidency. He doesn't believe that. He never said that. Elizabeth Warren is not telling the truth. Sanders denies it. Elizabeth Warren states that he said that. Why on earth would Bernie say that? But you have to understand he made his own bed. He got in bed. All of this is for Clinton 2020. This will be the biggest political call of all time. When I'm the only person on planet Earth saying since 2017 in the Huffington Post, Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. There's nothing that isn't preordained and calculated and contrived within the Democratic Party. We know that from the DNC emails. We know that from Donna Brazil's article in Politico stating there was a secret agreement between Clinton and the DNC. That hasn't changed. But when you turn your back on voters, $200 million siphoned from idealistic, hardworking people who don't have $20 to give, and then you do the same thing over again, and you utilize the tactics that you utilized against Trump, when Democrats utilize the same tactics that they've spewed against Trump, fabricating quotes based on sources, and then just attributing these quotes to Trump, even though there's no record he stated any of them. But here, I want to read you this. So Warren is part of this really nefarious type of thing where Bernie Sanders never said that a woman couldn't be president. But here, Bernie and I met for more than 2 hours in December 2018 to discuss the 2020 election, our past work together, and our shared goals, beating Donald Trump, taking back our government from the wealthy and well-connected, and building an economy that works for everyone, Warren said in a statement. Among the topics that came up was what would happen if Democrats nominated a female candidate. I thought a woman could win. He disagreed. That's absurd. Elizabeth Warren almost certainly is lying. That's ludicrous. But then again, I was going to do this segment on H.A. Goodman's other channel, but it's, late in the evening. I'm just going to go ahead and do it on this channel because a lot of people won't get notifications. But you know what? I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. It wasn't all of those people that you see now with, millions of subs and $20 million in venture capital money who want to get money out of politics. It was me. I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. Those links are below in the pinned comment. I became a Trump supporter because President Trump wants to bring home Americans. That is his stated goal, and that's actually what's taking place. If you see what's happening right now, the wonderful experts are saying, well, we won't be able to stay in the Middle East with this. Yeah, I know. That's the point. The Trump's foreign policy works in mysterious ways. Sends warships to the Korean Peninsula, and then a couple months later, Moon Jae-in of South Korea says that Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for détente, for beginning détente between North and South Korea, beginning a roadmap towards peace between North and South Korea. He'll do the same thing regarding a deal with Iran. You watch. And he'll bring home Americans. He'll be one of the great presidents that we've had. The media meltdown, the Democratic Party meltdown, has nothing to do with record low unemployment, record low Black and Latino unemployment. The unemployment rate for Hispanic and Latino men is below the national average, which makes you wonder why a certain comedian would try to, do everything possible to disparage Trump. The unemployment rate for Hispanic and Latino men is below the national average. Might be for the first time ever. Definitely never happened under Presidents Obama or Bush. People are doing better under Trump's economy. People are doing better under Trump's administration. You heard all the sign the First Step Act. Record low Black and Latino unemployment. Wages are up. Household median income is up. Stock market is at a record high. 300,000+ manufacturing jobs created. under President Obama. 300,000 lost under Trump. Opposite. 300,000 manufacturing jobs created under Trump. 300,000 lost under President Obama. So yeah, I'm voting for Trump because he goes after corrupt officials like Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Clapper, Brennan. He goes up against a corrupt system. Bernie Sanders did not, and now he's getting it. Yet again. CNN reported earlier today cited 4 anonymous sources close to Warren claiming Sanders told he believes a woman cannot win the presidency. You have to understand the cult. It is liberating wearing this shirt. And guess what? Trump support is growing in the black community, growing in the Latino community, growing in the Asian community, growing everywhere. This is a fact backed up by polls. I'm not making that up. It's a fact. Because every American wants a great economy and wants to pull back from the Middle East. Democrats don't want to talk about the great economy and want to keep us there, American soldiers, away from their families, their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their fathers, their friends, forever. Anonymous sources, that's what they used against Trump. You mean to tell me all the dirty tactics that we've used against Trump, you're now utilizing against me? What do you think, I got a lobotomy? Why would I say that, Warren? These are anonymous sources. This is almost like a Steele dossier. They're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. What happened between you and me? You would use your progressive version of a Steele dossier against me. We used to be close. Used to be friends, but now we're foes. Ask me why, no one knows. Could be the jealousy between you and me. Could be the fame. Could be the money. I can't believe you would do this to me, Warren. Excuse me, can you get this knife out of my back? Maybe you can help, Klobuchar. You're not doing anything. There's a knife, and someone put a knife on my back. Yeah, and the name's Warren. Why would I say that? We're supposed to accuse Trump of things he never said and get the rabid, maniacal imbeciles in the press to repeat it. Why would you do this to me? I gave you all the money that the people gave me in 2016. I'm going to give you the money people are giving me this year. At least let me, ride into the sunset without you accusing me of things. What's next? You're going to bring up the essay I wrote 75 years ago? And this more mishigash you're going to do to me after I hook you up? No good deed goes unpunished. With friends like you, who needs enemies? After all I've done for you, after all, covered up the DNC fraud lawsuit, pretended that the Russians hacked the DNC like the ODNI report says we're confident, we don't even know. And this is what you do to me. You get Warren of all people to pretend that I said that a woman can't win. Are you kidding me? A woman can win. Tulsi Gabbard is wonderful. Okay? What I was saying is that a nefarious, evil criminal couldn't win. You then mistook that for me talking about Clinton, which is that's who I was referring to. But I didn't say her name, and I certainly didn't say the part about her being a woman. I said a nefarious criminal that gets away with everything because nobody investigates. That's all I said. Anyway, the point is, CNN does Bernie Sanders in, and this is what happens. If you're a Bernie Sanders supporter right now, you're looking at me and you're saying, oh my God, what a turncoat. No. You don't understand. See, President Trump is a great president. Look at if Bernie Sanders had Trump's track record low unemployment, the beginning of peace between North and South Korea, first president to step foot in North Korea, First Step Act, household median income up, manufacturing jobs up, record highs in the stock market. That's not that important, but also mainly record lows in black and Latino unemployment, national unemployment. The unemployment rate for Latino and Hispanic men below the national average. All of these achievements, tackling the $400 billion trade deficit with China without the Trans-Pacific Partnership, removing us from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, stating he wants to end our involvement in the Middle East, going up against corrupt intelligence officials that utilized a dossier of gossip and CNN reporting from anonymous sources against him. See, Trump fights. Bernie got in bed with these people. Nothing better than hot cocoa with bread. Is this the way we fight the billionaire class? The billionaire class apparently is not afraid of Bernie. You have Tom Steyer and Michael Bloomberg, and they're pumping in hundreds of millions. Bloomberg said he'll pump in $1 billion. Even if Bernie wins, which is, of course, a lie. The Democrats are insidious. So if you say, H.A. Goodman, H.A. Badman, how could you go from Bernie to Trump? Well, number one, there's an overlap between Bernie and Trump. Big overlap from the Trans-Pacific Partnership to mainly foreign policy. The fact that, criminal justice reform wasn't Bernie's, so he signed the First Step Act. Trump is a really bad racist, if that's what he's supposed to be in the eyes of Democrats. His policies are working for all people. But it's like Sanders blasted the report and his allies were furious, describing it as a desperate effort by Warren staffers and the mainstream media to blunt his momentum. It's ludicrous to believe that at the same meeting where Elizabeth Warren told me she was going to run for president, I would tell her that a woman couldn't win. Well, that's what Warren said, Bernie. Obviously, she's lying, but that's what she said. Well, it doesn't matter. You didn't push back when a Steele dossier was used to go after Trump. You didn't push back when the intelligence community completely fabricated this nonsense about Russia hacking the DNC to inform the country that you were cheated, thus giving Clinton the popular vote but losing swing states and causing Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign in disgrace, but you never spoke up, so now you're going to get it. You know where. You never spoke up. You never fought back, Bernie. Now they're doing it to you. You know that song, Do It To Me One More Time. Just give me one more chance. That's actually about a good thing. They're doing it to you one more time and regarding a bad thing. They're doing it to you one more time. But it's not fun. Yeah, no bad, very bad. But you didn't speak up. You laid the groundwork for yet. Thank you, ma'am. May I have another? Oh, you fabricated a quote. Gee, who does that? Oh, yeah, that's right. They do that all the time against Trump. And then he just tries to flip the script, Bernie. I mean, this is duplicitous, and oh my God. It's sad that 3 weeks before the Iowa, and a year after that private conversation, staff who weren't in the room are lying about what happened. No, actually, Warren made the statement. Warren made the statement that said you said that a woman couldn't win. Obviously, you didn't say that, but guess what? Your campaign is done. It just took a fabricated quote, and now they're going to talk about your 75-year-old essay, where it's some really weird things you wrote, Bernie. Very crazy, bizarre things. Now, should you be judged by that? Of course not, but you helped create this world. You live by the gossip and innuendo and smear, then you know what? Your political campaign ends that way. With Trump, they found an Access Hollywood tape. He still won the presidency. They're going to fabricate a quote against you, and that's it. Poof, there goes Bernie's campaign. Whereas when I was writing in 2016, if you had fought, could have created a true movement, but you didn't fight. And thank God you didn't. Because at the end of the day, Bernie Sanders is a politician. He doesn't want to change the system or revamp the Democratic Party or, go after like the Max Boot, Bill Kristol, John Brennan, Comey, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Tom Perez, and mainly Madam Secretary wing of the Democratic Party that runs everything. There's a big overlap between Bernie Sanders and Trump. And I explained in the Federalist article below why Bernie to Trump, that Bernie Sanders supporters should vote Trump 2020. But here, He goes on to say, what I did say that night was that Donald Trump is a sexist and a racist and a liar who would weaponize whatever he could. No, that's what they're going to say about you, Bernie. That's what they're going to say about you. Because you didn't stick up for just basic principles. Basic principles that if you're cheated, you fight back. You don't pretend you weren't cheated. See, we know you were cheated, Bernie. We know you were cheated. Yeah, we all know. You can just pretend it didn't happen, but we know. And guess what? You're being cheated again. But you won't do anything, will you? You'll just take it. You'll just take it. And you'll take that money, won't you? You'll take that money. And you'll give it right back to Clinton 2020, just like you did in 2016. Not very nice, Bernie Sanders. Not very nice at all. Not fighting the 1%, huh? How is that Medicare for All bill, Bernie, that the House passed with wonderful AOC and the progressives? How about it never happened? How about there's no Medicare for All bill being passed in the House? How about Elizabeth Warren single-handedly torpedoed the Medicare for All thing because she didn't even have a plan that was functioning, and the Mercatus study stated you have to double or triple tax collection, and they forced her to come out with a plan about how she would pay for it, and she completely botched it, worse than even her failed DNA test. Do I believe a woman can win in 2020? Of course. After all, Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump by 3 million votes in 2016. Keep pandering, Bernie. Keep pandering. Beg for their love, but they're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give it to you. You know why? One of the reasons I like Trump, because he fights. Bernie doesn't fight. Case in point, look at Tom Steyer and Bloomberg. Not very nice, Bernie, taking all that money and giving it right back to Clinton. Clinton's going to be the nominee. Look, the only person who could actually win the Democratic primary, even this year, really, when you talk about the person who has the most passionate supporters, is Bernie Sanders. Unfortunately, Bernie Sanders is part of the same system, an integral part of the same system that he's claiming to want to, revolutionize. It's unbelievable. Now Sanders and Warren are all but certain to have addressed allegations of sexism at Tuesday night's debate. I have no interest in discussing the private meeting any further because Bernie and I have far more in common, Warren said. We've been friends and allies in this fight. I have no doubt we're on Donald Trump's side. Then she goes, she already stated, though, that Warren said in a statement, among the topics came up was what would happen if Democrats nominated a female candidate. I thought a woman could win. He disagreed. Almost certainly she's trying to pretend that he probably said Clinton couldn't win. She's saying a woman, very vague. This is deception. This is a lie. She's saying, well, Clinton's a woman. And he was saying a woman couldn't win. No, he's saying Clinton couldn't win. Clinton can't win still. She'll still run again and become nominee because of things like this. The only message, not that anyone, not that anyone cares, and you shouldn't care if you're a Bernie Sanders supporter, what I think. But my only message for Bernie Sanders supporters is, what do you think happens to that money that you give to Bernie Sanders? You think it's going to go to his presidential inauguration? That could have happened in 2016. Do you understand? If he had fought, if you had talked about the top secret intelligence on private servers, nobody understands this. Even if Comey never exonerated Clinton. It was a complete cover-up. But he could have explained what the nature of the criminal act was. Clinton has never been exonerated, ever. There was no exoneration because John Huber never investigated, or that Comey said that no reasonable prosecutor would indict. It's only exoneration for people who would have simply stated that that the government was going after its political opponent, that Trump was going after his political opponent. They play two sides of the same coin. If the government does something they like, they say it's the government. If the government does something they don't like, they say, oh my God, this is what authoritarians do. Look at history. The Democrats are completely disingenuous, insidious. All they do is lie and deceive. And the voters willingly go along for the ride because they're afraid of being painted as a Trump supporter by Robert De Niro or by their friends on social media. Bernie Sanders never said that he didn't think a woman could win. Okay, he never said that. Elizabeth Warren is lying and not telling the truth, almost certainly. But it's too late for Bernie's campaign. Just one piece of gossip, and you're done. Poof, there goes the campaign. Give me your thoughts below. This is what happens when you go after Trump with the dirtiest tactics. They get turned on you. And all you've done, Bernie Sanders, all he's done for the Democrats, he could have single-handedly destroyed, fractured beyond repair the Democratic Party. He could have said, look, I'm taking my voters, and if you don't pass a Medicare for All bill in the House, I'll run as an independent. It's called leverage. It's called, powerful people and powerful political entities are not going to give up their influence because of a $20 million venture capital, a company that gets $20 million from venture capitals and a capital firm, and then says, "Oh, they're going to fight the system and they're going to push for." Bernie Sanders didn't even endorse that wonderful person running for Congress. He didn't even have the guts to push back against social media outcry because of his negative things that he wrote in a blog post. So he endorsed, then he unendorsed. I'm endorsing this person. Oh, I'm unendorsing. Yeah, the movement is bigger than any one individual. Do you believe it? My God. Then you get these people like, if you're still part of the cult, do you not see it cracking? Do you not see that the cult leaders, Bernie being included in that with Clinton and everyone else, do you not see the Democratic Party is far more insidious? That even if you think Trump is wrong in what he's doing, which he's compared by the standards by which presidencies are judged, he's doing a great job. The media meltdown, impeachment is fabricated, as was the Mueller probe, as is most of the statements that he never said both sides were equal ever, or that there were fine people on both sides pertaining to the Tiki Torch people. Never, ever happened. That was like an 8th grade. That's the way, really bad, like 8th graders would try to pile on and accuse somebody, try to ruin their lives of saying something they didn't say. He said, you said this. No, he didn't. Why would he say that? Oh, well, there was a contingent of really bigoted people who helped him win. No, there wasn't. President Trump won cities, counties, states that President Obama won twice and Bill Clinton won twice. Michigan and Pennsylvania haven't voted for a Republican since 1988, Wisconsin since 1984. So suddenly the bigots came out? No, that's not how it works. The vast majority of people who voted for President Trump are good people, honest people who hate racism. But Democrats had to paint it that way because everything that Trump said was, oh my God, look at history. Look at these narcissists, these egotistical, ignorant narcissists who tried to paint. You talk about appropriating historical record. My God, a Trump. It started this way, and you can feel I can't really talk about it on YouTube. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Trump said like a couple of things crude, yes, but then you want to talk about Hillary Clinton, who called black youth super predators, and Clinton said they should be brought to heel, who lack empathy. That's what Hillary Clinton said. Guess what? They're going to go twice with Clinton. Who presided over mass incarceration, who took prison lobbyist donations in 2016, who, I don't know. Yeah, can you believe Clinton called Mahatma Gandhi? Yes, she did. A gas station attendant. Clinton brought up the assassination of RFK while running against the first African-American president. Why would she bring that up? Oh, that's right, because Madam Secretary can get away with anything. Now, imagine if people said, look at those statements, you know how the certain moment in history started with statements like that. But, anyway, give me your thoughts below. Bernie made his bed. He has to deal with it. Clinton will be the nominee. And what did I tell you on H.A. Goodman's other channel? Check it out. They're going to go after Bernie, unfortunately. Well, he made his bed. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you.